The New York Giants have dodged a bullet with Tyrone Tracy and his injury, as we were standing right here earlier today going through the idea that Tyrone Tracy's season could be over before it even started, as he had to leave Giants practice this morning on a cart after a non-contact injury with his ankle in an air cast. Then fast forward 5 hours later, and the New York Giants got absolutely great news, and it sounds like his season's not done. He's not going to miss a lot of time, and it may just be a couple of weeks. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network tweeting this out just moments ago, saying Giants rookie running back Tyrone Tracy, who is primed to get significant playing time in the backfield and was carted off the field on Tuesday, was diagnosed with a low ankle sprain. Much better than anticipated. He's in a boot and is week to week, but not long term. For one time in my life as a New York Giant fan, the injury gods spared us. The football gods, the people that make the decisions for this league, because we all know it's scripted, finally, one time looked out for the New York football Giants. And you know what? Just like today's video, to thank the injury gods, hallelujah, for making sure that Tyrone Tracy's ankle was okay. They were holding his ankle, they were rubbing it, they were kissing it, they were looking at it, and they made sure it was not broken, it was not fractured, and nothing serious. The fact that it is a low ankle sprain, unfreaking believable. If you are excited, I've never been so happy to say that my rookie star running back has a sprained ankle than I am today. If you're with me, knock on wood and hit that thumbs up icon. Jordan Renan of ESPN put this out, saying, as noted on SportsCenter, there is hope that Tyrone Tracy Jr.'s leg injury is not as bad as it looked. He was put into an air cast and taken off on a cart, but he's already back in meetings. A sigh of relief. This is the best news I've got in my personal life. And as long as I can remember, nothing good ever happens to me. Nothing good ever happens to the New York Giants when it comes to injuries. And today, we were kissed on the forehead right by the widow's peak by the New York football Giants gods and the injury gods, all of them out there. I mean, when the cart comes out and you hear it's a non-contact injury, and then you hear his leg was put into an air cast, everyone, including myself and beat reporters that were at practice and saw this unfold, believed his season was done. That the ankle was broken, that he popped his Achilles. Some thought it was a knee injury. They thought he was not even going to get off the blocks when it comes to his NFL career. And it sounds like he may be ready to go for week one, and it's just going to be a week-to-week injury. What a change of events for Tyrone Tracy, the human. He probably got on that cart saying, I'm not even going to get to play my rookie season in the NFL. I was supposed to be the RB2 this year. I was the guy that was maybe going to take over as the lead back for this football team as we got in to November and December and maybe January. He thought all of those things. You know he did. Every athlete does when you go through an injury. It is scary as an athlete when an injury happens and it actually rips away the thing from you that you love most and you put the most work into. And I think this is going to be a positive for him. This will put things into a perspective and let him know, I got to go that much harder. Because the NFL, it stands for not for long, and he could have been without a rookie season and potentially a job as a New York Giant going forward, has a running back they can lean on. I believe he's going to bounce back from this and be better than he was, because mentally that will change you and it'll make you place much more of an importance on every single rep at practice, every single rep in the game, and watching film, and I truly do. But I thought it before, but I'm going to double down and triple down right now. Tyrone Tracy is going to ball out this year. We already saw him play really good football and tote the rock with a smash mouth mentality and showing that he has that one-cut ability to get north and south and has good getaway speed in that game versus the Lions. 5 carries only, but 26 yards. On 5.2 yards per carry. He had 23 yards after contact. That's what made him somebody in college that I fell in love with. He was a home run hitter, but it wasn't just him running through green grass and big holes that semi-trucks could fit through. He made people miss. He ran through arm tackles. He found the tough yards anytime he toted the rock, and I can't wait to see him do that on Sundays. On top of the fact that I do believe, even though that he had to change from going from a receiver to a running back, you don't just lose those skills. I can't wait to see him be a weapon for this offense as a runner, but also out of the backfield as a receiver because he's done it. I understand these stats are going to be a little bit inflated. One, because he played 63 games in college, and two, he played 4 seasons as a receiver and 2 as a running back, but he has the skill set. He has the ability to be a guy that the Giants can make a big-time part of this offense when it comes to being a weapon out of the backfield as a pass catcher. He's a special player, man, and I'm expecting big things from him. Maybe we don't see it in week 1. Maybe we don't see it in week 2. But as soon as he returns to the field, he is going to bring a spark to this team because we already saw it on display against the Detroit Lions. And anyone that's been at training camp that has seen the Giants play or practice, one of their major takeaways is Tyrone Tracy's a stud, and that RB2 job, it's his, and it's his to lose. So now you get, once again, a healthy running back room. Tyrone Tracy not officially healthy. He's going to miss a couple of weeks. So either they called him week to week. I bet they put him on ice and try to get him to go for week 1. But, man, once again, I'm super optimistic about the stable of backs that the New York Giants have. Devin Singletary, they call him Motor because all he does is go. Eric Gray flashed against the Lions. I thought Dante Turbo Miller looked good. You signed Lingard a couple of days ago, but you got your 4-headed monster back with Singletary, Gray, Tracy, and Dante Miller. It felt like the Giants had a lot of talent in the running back room all offseason long, but we were projecting and hoping. But all of that came to light against the Lions, and major credit to the offensive line. They gave them room to run through, but the backs almost made the most. The backs made the most of their opportunities. Look at the yards after contact. Of the 52 yards Eric Gray had, 51 were after contact. And in this league, if you're going to create big-time runs, you got to break tackles, and you got to make people miss. And Tracy did that. 23 of his 26 yards came after contact, and Dante Miller, 42 of his 63 yards came after contact. So these guys, they kept their feet moving. They fought for tough yards. They got north and south. No dilly-dallying behind the line of scrimmage. They brought a smash-mouth feel back to this offense that New York Giants running backs are accustomed to. If you had to choose today, though, who do you think of these 3 players is going to be second in carries by the end of the season? I believe that Devin Singletary, I don't know why I just blanked on that. Devin Singletary will lead this team in carries. Who do you think will come in second? Tracy, Gray, Miller. Let me know your thoughts. And make sure you are hooked up with a Brian Burns jersey for week 1. I'm telling you guys, I know that we have talked about him a lot on this channel, but I feel like sometimes we don't give him enough credit, and we don't really realize the type of player that we added. And he's a stud, and he's going to make big-time plays for this team. Get his jersey so you can have it week 1 against the Vikings. Chatsports.com/Burns. That is chatsports.com/Burns. I also just want to say this before we talk about Daniel Jones, who supposedly had a really good game. The New York Giants practice field is grass. The New York Giants practice field is grass. The New York Giants practice field is grass. Everybody say it with me in the comments. That way we can stop blaming practice injuries on turf. The Giants practice field is grass. 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 I don't ever want to see a comment on this show, on my Twitter, or anywhere saying, can we change the turf because of a practice injury? They practice on grass. So let's just stop that right now. Thank you. Let's be informed. Let's be intelligent. We're the New York Football Giants. We're the best organization in sports. Let's close talking about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones today at practice, according to the people that were there, had maybe his breast practice. I do that all the time. That's sweet. Best practice of the day. If you know, you know, you know where that comes from. You get the breast seats for the breast prices guaranteed. No. Best practice of the summer is what Daniel Jones allegedly had today. Dan Duggan of The Athletic had an awesome write-up on Twitter. Check him out. Give him a follow. Subscribe to his content over at The Athletic. Does an awesome job. I just want to read what he had to say. I wasn't there. He was. So let's talk about it. He said, quote, when Jones has had strong practices this camp, it's mostly because he's hit on a few deep balls with everything else being underneath. Today was more impressive because he was drilling intermediate throws with good velocity, touch, and timing. The ball touched the ground 3 times on his 13 passes today. A batted pass by Dexter Lawrence and drops by Jalen Hyatt and Chris Manhertz on well-thrown slants. Jones fired a dig route into a tight window to Jalen Hyatt. He had a perfectly placed deep crosser to Darius Slayton along the sideline over Kayvon Thibodeau, who was dropping in coverage. The deep balls will be huge, but those are the types of throws he needs to make more consistently. And Daniel Jones just continues to knock the rust off. I know camp was tough. I was critical of him. It's my job. But I should have maybe understood that he was coming back from a torn ACL and it hadn't even been 12 months yet. But he looks more in shape, he looks more confident, and he is knocking the rust off day by day. And it's nice to see him do this, have a great practice without Malik Nabers there, targeting a guy like Jalen Hyatt, finding Darius Slayton. As we know, they have great chemistry. But when that alpha, that dog, number 9, when he's not playing as a quarterback and you can still have success and you spread the ball around and you're hitting those intermediate throws that Duggan talked about, those are more impressive than just airing it out to a spot and letting your talented wide receivers run under it. The great quarterbacks throw accurate, on-time, on-target passes in between the numbers, but more so in between the hashes. And that's where I want to see Daniel Jones take a step because that is always free bread for an offense. I'm pumped to see him play this Saturday. I know people call me a Daniel Jones hater. I feel like I'm more of a Daniel Jones truther, but to each their own. You can call whatever you want. I just expect the most from him. Number 6 overall pick. He has the 5th highest cap hit in the National Football League this year. I just want him to be the guy that I think he could be, which is a good quarterback. And I want to see him do it this Saturday, but more importantly, this season. Because the best way for the Giants to be good this year is if number 8 plays like the guy that a lot of people think he can be. Reminder, the Giants do play the Texans this Saturday, August 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be live an hour before the game kicks off here on this channel as we start our second watch party of the season. More than 61,000 people tuned in last week for the game against the Lions. It was the number 1 place on YouTube to watch a Giants games with tens of thousands of fans, and I want you to experience it because there is nothing like a New York Giants Now by Chat Sports watch party. So be there or be square. I think that's what they say. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm also on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there and go Big Blue.